Let's see if I can recapture my clarity on how controlling and amazing guilt is as a control mechanism for us on planet Earth. Guilt tripping each other. It's really good. I mean, it works really well. And when you disconnect people from feelings, we don't feel, we don't intuitively feel, we don't even feel, then guilt can be used on the programming of the culture. The cult culture is mostly should-ism behaviors. You should behave certain ways. You know, I'm your wife, you should get me a card for our anniversary, and if you don't, there's going to be hell to pay. Guilt. I'm your child. I didn't ask to be born into this world. You should take care of me till I'm 35. I'm your mother. You should come visit me. These are obvious ones. You should come visit me, and if you don't, you're a bad son or a daughter. You should let me fuck you, 'cause you're my wife. And if you're not a dutiful wife. You know? You should do your... I'm exaggerating. I have to exaggerate it to point it out, because if I just talk about it intellectually, it's not very obvious. It's obfuscated, but not obvious. You should attend church Wednesday and Sunday both, and you should volunteer to help with feeding the poor and the homeless to be a good person, and you shouldn't eat meat or you're an evil person, and you shouldn't make fun of Greta Thunberg because she's just a child with Asperger's syndrome. Is that a good example, Tobias? You're gonna get yourself in trouble, boy. All the should-isms, you should do this, you shouldn't do that, are often wrapped in bacon and peanut butter to make the poison pill go down. The guilt pill. Right? My experience with masters and free beings, guilt doesn't work on them at all. In fact, it's counterproductive. If you guilt trip at all, they tend to distance themselves from you and leave you to your own devices. So that's a little harsh, presenting it, but I have to do it a little bit harsh for us to get it, right? So all that sort of, well, can't you just do that this one time, go to the birthday party for my girlfriends? Can't you just be a good husband? And what? Can't you just come to the Christmas party you don't want to go to because we're a couple? Can you be the tag-along mate? How does it feel? When it feels mutual, respectful, when it feels good, good God. When it feels good with a glad heart, I want to do that. It feels mutual. Everybody wins. With guilt, it's a draining of energy. It's a stealing of energy. It's a control mechanism. It's a icky, sticky, get that shit and fucking guilt off of me feeling. And it has infected a lot of our whole society, culture, civilization, guilt. I mean, we have obvious jokes about it. It's a Jewish mother. Oh, you come and visit your mother. You don't love me anymore. What's wrong with the food? You didn't eat 5 heapings of it. Italian, Greek, Italian, Iranian, Jewish mother, Indian mother. Right? It's so obvious. We all know that the feminine has gotten infected with guilt. Her bottomless hole can never be filled, so she uses guilt to get people to come over to the house. Now feel the difference between that. It's my duty. I need to visit my mother or my father or my church. It's an obligation, duty I have. How does it feel? It feels icky. Versus, I love my mom. I love my father. I love my spiritual organization. And I genuinely want to. It's a natural impulse that wants to go and participate and bring gifts and kisses and cook food and help clean or just hang out and whatever it is. If it's the natural impulse, the I am pulse, it doesn't have that draining, heavy, icky, sticky feeling that guilt carries with it. But so the first thing is you have to actually get in touch with what genuinely, authentically in you feels right to you. Right? Now, anything can be misused. So you can become a narcissistic, psychopathic, sycophantic, saying, I don't have any guilt, I just do what I want. You can misuse anything. No, I just do what I want. And then you become the selfish person. Right? But often the people that are using the guilt, and often they couch it in those terms, like, oh, well, you're being selfish. Can't you just come spend 15 minutes with me? Can't you just put up with it for 15 minutes, dear husband of the horrible fucking party? Just make a good appearance and then we'll be able to leave. Let's just put it in an appearance. And oh, what a tangled web we weave when at first we practice to tete-a-tete tango with guilt and shoulds. Ugh, get that shit off of me. This is why masters, the universe, God himself, God herself, are not guilt trippable. You can't guilt trip them. Let your yeses be yeses and your noes be noes. But we have this eons of galactic fucking guilt. You are my brother. You should loan me $5,000 if you cared about me. I just needed to get a job to fix the engine of my car. Eminem giving a $300,000 house to his uncle. 2 years later, the uncle, because he feels, I want to take care of the family. Maybe he had an intuition that said, well, hey, it's not really the right thing to do. But he did it anyway because he wants to be the good guy. I got millions of dollars now. 2 years later, his uncle's suing him because he's not paying the taxes on the house, biting the hand that feeds you. So the way real masters do it, the only way people learn is you withdraw, and they have to hit the wall themselves. The school of hard knocks, the school of, what's real. There's no shortage in the universe. Guilt is used by shortage spirits. They're like, there's only so much. It's horrible. We need to guilt trip you into giving us to the poor. How do you feel in the Salvation Army guy up front? Some of it's kind of nice and nostalgic at the grocery stores. But isn't there a creepy, icky, a little bit of guilt there? Like, I'm a schlub because I'm not actually giving $5 into the Salvation Army thing. That's guilt money. The soil you sow in is the plants you receive. If you're sowing seeds in guilt soil, you're going to get guilt plants, which are never good in the long run, So last night I had to hit Joy's cat that she's rescued. Had a urinary tract thing, middle of the night. We're going to She's like, I got to go to the emergency room. And I've been through that with Miley the dog. They rape you. It's $3,000, $12,000 overnight stay to observe them, put them in a horrible fluorescent light cages with screaming animals and terror coming in all night. That's really a good place to leave your dog overnight? No. Give me my dog back, which is what I said. I took her home, and we spent the night together, Miley the dog and I, and about 5:30 in the morning, I talked to her spirit. It finally got through. Honey, if you want to pass, and we'll love you. If you want to stay, Mom and I will take care of you. She did 2 triple sigh, released. It felt like God was in the room, or the animal goddess helping. And in the morning, she sat up. And I could see the flap of her skin hanging down and the bone sticking out of her shoulder on Miley. And she looked at me and said, Daddy, I have to go pee. I took her pee. I'm crying as I'm watching her bravery. She pees. She kind of collapses. I put her in a dog bed. I wrap her up in a waterproof thing because she's going to pee. And I take her out to the vet in the morning. Instead of $1,000 a night feeding on my guilt about my dog, to suck money out of me at the pet emergency place. The same vet that had Miley euthanized for $150 was just $500 for Joy. My intuition last night said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not going with you. It's your lesson with your adopted cat. It's your lesson to see something deeper here. But they should live forever. Really? How's that working for us? The guilt. They should keep Mom and Dad alive in elderly homes for another 6 years while they're losing their mind. They're not even there anymore. How's that working for us? Should keep them alive for 90 horrible days at the hospital, and right as they're dying, pump them up and resuscitate them to spend $1.5 million of mostly taxpayer money. For what? It's guilt, mostly. It's fear, guilt. You're feeding fear, guilt. So I said, no, I'm not doing it with you. I love you. God bless you. This is your lesson. I'll help you bury the cat. He's home now. I told her I'll help put him down. She still spent $500 just to have him euthanized. This is why it's good to live on a farm, because part of natural life is you got to do that stuff anyway. What, you're going to make an issue with God? He doesn't know, she doesn't, Mother Nature or Father God, whoever you're into, doesn't know what they're doing? I love our vet, the one she couldn't go to because they weren't open today. He's a cattle ranch vet from a long time, young guy, beautiful, nice, smart. However you want to do it. Here's the options. You understand. Here's the most likely future. If you spend $3,000 right now on your pet, they're probably not going to make it for longer than a year, and you're going to have a urethra catheter and do this and that and the other. It's your choice. What would Mother Nature do? Miley was a great mother with puppies, but she would not resuscitate a puppy that was destined for death. In fact, Bentley would come in and kill it, put it out of its misery, get it done. Cloud, the stallion, look it up on YouTube. He's these beautiful Spanish Mustangs. I used to take people to go connect with the Spanish wild horses in New Mexico on our spiritualtravelers.com. Cloud the stallion, usually when the mother gives birth, she, stay away, daddy, so he doesn't hurt the babies the first week or so. Wild horses. And dogs too, you'll watch them, right? They'll go to the daddy. So Bentley's laying in the room, and Miley gives birth to a puppy that I can't see because I've turned the lights down, and it's lifeless, and I'm massaging it and getting her to lick it and encouraging her to get it back to life. And the puppy wakes up because I'm the one doing it out of my human. We should make everything live. Well, anyway, the puppy's born with the skull. There's an open brain on top. The puppy starts screaming, like worse than a baby in a plane by 10 times. Bentley gets all activated and goes, Daddy, that's wrong. I'm supposed to come up here and help put that out of its misery. I have to do it because I'm the human that knew better than the Tao. Cloud, the stallion, the beautiful one. This one time this foal is born with two hind legs that don't work. The mother backs right off, right after the birth. Usually, no way, they'd ever do that, the mares. These are wild horses in the mountains. Look it up. Cloud, the stallion of the mountains. It's on YouTube. And she lets the male stallion come in. He sniffs up and down the spine, perfectly puts right where the neck joins the back, does one quick bite, severs the spinal column. That foal that could have lived and suffered by having no hind legs that worked, a slow death of starvation or drag, whatever, or at best being eaten by animals, cougars, he put it out of its misery. Nature knows what to do. They're not guilt-ridden. They're flowing with the Tao. So guilt's a motherfucker. I'm not talking willy-nilly euthanasia here. I'm talking about there's a right time. There is a godly, there is a holy, there is a Taoist flow way to do these things. And with spirituality, guilt really infests itself there. Of, you should. No, 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 no. The natural, spontaneous Tao is perfect. It knows what's the right action at the right time. So a lot of people, you're going to have to learn this. When it's a natural want to, it's beautiful. It's a win-win-win-win. But if there's any guilt, you should buy me a house. You should do this for me. You should come visit me. You should do this. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't move away because I'm your mother. And you should live here with me. It gets toxic and weird. I should save all the cats. It gets toxic and weird. So detoxing shouldism and detoxing guilt. Guilt has its place as a wake up, as a boundary keeper, as a alerter, as a warning signal on your dash telling you there's something up here. Surrender into feeling and allowing it to bring you the messages it should. But last night I had to fight off the monster of it. I go, I'm not going with you, Joy. And she needed to go through this lesson herself. And that's really tough to do with loved ones, kids, parents, mates, and so forth. And it's really tricky. Guilt is really good at getting in there. Anytime you're pushing on someone to do something that you want them to do, and who's the selfish one? The one using guilt is the selfish. You're being selfish. You're not willing to, help me after all I did for you. Keeping score. That's not spontaneous, natural, Taoist. And keeping track, it leads to resentment. Well, you didn't help me, so I'm not going to help you. That's all toxic, passive-aggressive fucking bullshit. So, set your intention for, it's going to be very different than you've been told by the church, especially religious. It's mostly religious. Like that one, thou shalt honor thy father and thy mother. That's true. By being real with them, not by placating their inner guilt demons. We think being nice is placating our inner guilt demons. Is that helpful in the long run? No. How's that working for us? The welfare system doesn't work. Right? Or homeless people, 80% of them are charlatans that are begging for money. Or in the sense they don't, they make more money than you probably. Making $100, $150 a day begging, plus food and whatever else. So, see through. It's our own reflection. The guilt is our own reflection of our own blind spot misunderstandings. It has a role, but it's a negative role. We learn through learning what is not healthy, what is not working, what is not helpful. If the parent doesn't really want to help the child, don't do it. Get out. You're 18. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. If that's authentic, sometimes that's the best thing. Most of the very successful people in the world had, they did not feed off their parents and silver spoon starts in their life. Hell no. They went through fucking difficult times for them to rely on themselves. What is real help? When the master says, get the fuck out of my ashram. When the shaman says, get out there and live in the woods for a week or 3 weeks or 3 months by yourself. When the mother bear, when the cubs are 2 years old, swats them and growls and shows her teeth at him, goes, get out. Is that unloving that mother bear is doing that, grizzly bear, to the cubs that are, now it's time for you to go and live on your own? Oh, that's wrong. She should keep coddling and cuddling the bears till they're 5 years old, and mommy knows best, and it's horrible, suffocating, mothering, smothering. I'm being harsh, but I'm expressing this in a way it's a little bit of a shock therapy. It gets icky, wicky, sticky. It's the cat lady, it's the dog lady, it's grandma who takes in all the grandkids of their daughters that are fucking around. And she ends up with a stinking mess. It never works. Nature knows what it's doing. Ask to find where's the natural place. Where's the Taoist place? Where Jesus very clearly says, we will always have the poor. Stop obsessing about them. Don't overhelp the poor. Set up self-help places, bootstrapping places, build your own little house. Set up something where they're contributing and participating. It's a case-by-case basis. Over-enabling, over-helping, over-caring leads to toxic, horrible shit. The cat lady is a perfect example of it. I'm going to save all the cats. 120 cats later, it's a toxic, stinking, fucking biohazard mess for the whole neighborhood. You can't outwit, outsmart, outplay the universe. And I'm not being uncompassionate. You do it with compassion. By their fruits you shall know them. Did that person wake up? Did they get self-reliant? Or is it generations of welfare? Or is it a homeless problem that continues and grows and grows and grows and grows, and, drug problems? Hello, San Francisco, how's that working for you? Offer them a place to be, like in Portland or Seattle, they're trying something where they're, okay, here's land set aside for building your own little houses. But you build your own little house, and rent is $50 a month, and you keep clean your own place. Or not. We'll offer it to you, but you got to participate yourself. If you don't want that, we understand. It's free will universe. Go back to the streets, fine. Guilt. You should take care. It's the cuckoo bird. The bird is so programmed that the cuckoo bird drops their nest in other birds' nests because it's too lazy to take care of their own kids. And because it's instinct in other birds, like the starlings, they'll raise the birds for the cuckoos. Nasty. With humans, the same thing. Guilt runs us. So what if we learn to discern, lead me from the dark to the light, show me real love, real helping. How does the universe, God Father, unless you've written off God, and you want to feed off of everyone else and go, I'm just a poor, helpless victim. You need to take care of me. It creates a toxic mess for everybody. Nature knows what she's doing. You leave nature alone. Beautiful, vibrant, healthy, gorgeous, whether it's a desert or a jungle or an ocean. And it's not survival of the fittest exactly, but it's self-regulating, and there's a higher way of doing it. Guilt is a gateway we have to go through of wanting to rescue everyone. Is it actually healthy to let every living thing live? Not in our current state. This is so hard to talk about because we'd have overpopulation right away. All those thousands of turtles that were eggs, if we did that for 50 years in a row, overpopulation of turtles. If every spermatozoa that every man ever makes created a child, it would be insane. So we're slowly moving back to conscious, where there is no overpopulation. The angels don't create babies that aren't intended. The awake masters, divine mothers, evolved humans in other parts of the galaxy do not create unwanted pregnancies. They don't have it show up as karma by overpopulation and problems like that and disease. What if we go inward and start looking at that again? What if we start looking inward to the soul parts of us to see the deeper teachings? This is a shirt I'm wearing today. It's called The Only Way Out is In. The only way out is in. The spiritual life, the inside, the kingdom of heaven is within. Right? Guilt is a gateway and a learning experience to see through. There's no way around it. There's a way through it. We're infested with guilt as a wrapped in bacon and peanut butter poison pill. And everyone on the spiritual path is going to have to deal with it in order to get free. There's no shortage in the real universe. There's no need for guilt or stealing or obfuscation or con jobs. There's plenty for everyone. In fact, it's overabundance. There's so much of everything available. Free energy, free love, free everything. So anyone who's going, I'm a victim. Now, that doesn't mean we're not compassionate. As we're remembering and relearning how to all be abundant. I've been going through hell for 2.5 years. I'm having a major fucking slap upside the head from the universe with physical problems, you know? I'm not going into them in detail because I don't want you guys projecting any shit on me, you know? And I'm getting better. Found a great doctors, and it's my own. Once I learn the inner lessons, the only way out is in. When I'm learning these lessons, Joy's going through hell today, mourning her beautiful cat. I loved him too. I love Nike. But I can feel his spirit, and he's like, I don't want to be an indoor cat. I'm out of here, and I'm willing to do this, to sacrifice myself, to help Joy wake up from this illusion she's in. That's how I see it. I know this travail difficulty I'm being put through physically is humbling, corrective for me. It's correcting me. It's helping me, see through my bullshit. I had some shouldism, not guilt exactly, but some shouldism that I should help people wake up. I don't feel that. It's like disappearing. I'm like, I should do, no, free will is whatever you want. Now, if you get something out of this, great. But I'm doing this for my own reminding myself of how, and declaring to the void how I want my universe to be aligned. I want to be around people who are free will beings who are not run by guilt. I don't want guilt sticking on me. That's why I'm doing this. And if you happen to, and the natural byproduct is, if you happen to get something out of it, and you go an aha for yourself, part of me actually feels That's cool. And it's kind of a spirit orgasm. Like, yeah, cool. Your awakening makes me feel good. That's how you can tell helpful spirits. When they see you getting free and feel you getting free, it actually feeds them. If they see you getting free and they're like, well, are you going to leave me? Are you going to keep sending me the alimony? I'm threatened by our relationship's going to change because you're getting free. That's showing you that you're working with guilt. Now, we're mixtures as humans. There's some obvious people that are a total guilt fucking victim, conniver, con artists. Easy to pick out. But most of us are mixtures. We're a mixed bag of love, the bacon part if you're into meat, the peanut butter if you're a vegan, wrapped around the poison pill. And learning to separate, learning to discern, to separate. Here's the loving part of my friend, partner, mother, father, son, daughter, mate. You don't broad brush people. Well, you're using guilt on me, so you're all bad. No. Most of us are mixed bags. But I want to be around souls that are interested in moving back towards avatarhood, towards freedom, to plenty for everyone, free energy. Are you enjoying the oil wars and the horrible Greta Thunberg going, how dare you use oil, it's horrible. How does that feel? It feels like, guilt. Wouldn't we rather discover free energy in our own chakras, and then as within, so without, we discover it in the outer world? We're done with oil wars. We're done with Iraq, Iran, terrorism, fucking Jews versus Arabs. Are we done with that shit? It's been going on for 60 fucking years. Only you can prevent World War III. Only you can prevent, now I'm using the Smokey the Bear, a little bit of guilt on you, right? Only you can discover free energy in yourself, and if enough of us do that, it'll go get off the planet. But if you keep feeding the guilt, it'll be here forever. Jesus is like, we're always going to have the poor. Why does he say that? Because if you keep feeding it, it's always going to be there. Not blind eye, not denial, not heartless. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how can you really help? What is real help? All right, I can go on and on. I hope you get some of that out of this. And if not, great. I'm declaring to the universe what I want in my universe. If you're interested to actually move these energies in us, to remove the guilt infestations of eons of lifetimes on Earth, then this is more information when I do these public videos like this. But the webcast tomorrow, Sunday at 11:30 Arizona time, a.m., I do a webcast where we try to invoke the space for clearing and cleaning us as humans, a collective space. I'm not the teacher, I'm not the leader, I'm the co-operator of equals trying to join together to do this with and for each other. If you're interested, tobiaslars.com. I also recommend you getting your own power into yourself by using the innerbodyawakening.com. Ancient Shiva technique, nothing new under the sun. I'm not the originator of this. I don't claim to be, but I've made it in a really powerful, easy way with music, without music, and a voice that people say really helps them get into the body better than Nidra Yoga. Even people have commented. I didn't even know what that was before I made it. Eckhart Tolle talks about it in his book, but the inner body, feeling your etheric body, your own powerful power centers in yourself. I recommend that. If you want to heal your heart, theheartenergy.com. If you want to learn how to alchemize energies, here's a protection symbol. Alchemyenergyprocess.com. Tobiaslars.com. We're in shirts. Go get some shirts. You want like this shirt? The Only Way Out Is In, and a whole bunch of other ones. Mr. T's with a T, Mr. Tees .threadless.com. Mr. T's, Tees .threadless.com. I have a lot of fun shirts on there. Learn to discern, Only Way Out Is In, Allow the Tao, Get Real to Heal. Can be really fun. I wear them out. People, helps you connect with people. All right, much love. That's enough. Tomorrow, webcast on Sundays if you're interested.